Let's start with hobbies. Do you have the same hobbies as your family members? What hobbies did you have as a child, and do you still enjoy them? Reflect on your past and current hobbies. Next, let's dive into swimming. How does swimming in a pool differ from swimming in the sea? Where do people in your country like to swim, and is it difficult to learn? Do you enjoy swimming? Now, let's talk about advertisements. What kind of ads do you prefer? Do you like advertisements in general? How do you feel about public transport ads, and do you remember any ads from your childhood? Boredom is something we all experience. Do you think childhood or adulthood is more boring? How do you cope with boredom, and what causes it for you? Do you often feel bored? Friendship is an important part of life. Do you invite friends to your home? Do you prefer spending time with one friend or a group? How do you maintain long-term friendships, and what activities do you enjoy with friends? Continuing with friends, where do you often meet them? How frequently do you go out with your friends, and how important is friendship to you? Books and reading habits shape our lives. Do you prefer reading books or watching movies? Have you read a book adapted into a film? How have your reading habits changed, and do you read more or less now? Evening routines vary for everyone. Do you prefer mornings or evenings? What do you usually do in the evening, and how did you spend your evenings as a child? Have your evening activities changed over time? Sitting down can be relaxing. Do you find it easy to fall asleep on a sofa? What were your childhood sitting habits, and do you feel drowsy when seated? How long do you usually sit, and where is your favorite spot? Computers are essential in modern life. In what conditions is it difficult for you to use a computer? How would your life be without computers, and when did you first use one? In what situations do you use a computer? Old buildings have a unique charm. Are there any old buildings you want to visit in the future? Do you prefer living in an old or modern house? Should we preserve old buildings, and have you visited any in the city? Collecting things can be a fascinating hobby. Where do you keep things you need, and do you hold on to old items for a long time? What childhood mementos do you have, and do you collect anything? Everyone has unique talents. Do you think anyone in your family shares the same talent? How can your talent be useful for your future career, and when did you master it? Do you have a talent or skill you're good at? Watches are both functional and fashionable. Do you think it's important to wear a watch, and why? Why do some people prefer expensive watches? Have you ever received a watch as a gift, and do you wear one regularly? Cars are a significant part of our lives. Do you think car colors are important? How do you handle traffic jams, and do you prefer driving or being a passenger? What types of cars do you like, and did you enjoy car trips as a child? Losing items can be stressful. Would you use social media to find a lost item? Have you ever lost something important, and do you report found items to the police? How do you handle items you find? Websites are an integral part of our daily lives. What types of websites are popular in your country, and have your preferences changed over time? What is your favorite website, and which ones do you visit frequently? Street markets offer a unique shopping experience. Are there many street markets in China, and when was your last visit? Do you prefer shopping at street markets or malls, and what do you usually buy? Mobile phones have transformed our lives. How has your mobile phone impacted your life, and will you buy a new one in the future? Do you use your phone more for texting or calls, and what was your first mobile phone? Let's start by discussing time management. Do you prefer being busy or do you find it hard to allocate time? How do you manage your daily planning? Now, let's talk about sports programs. Have you ever watched a sports game in a stadium? Do you prefer watching sports alone or with friends? Continuing with sports, do you enjoy watching live sports games or do you prefer TV sports programs? Moving on to art and drawing, did you learn drawing as a child? Are you interested in learning more about art? Do you enjoy visiting galleries? Let's talk about photography. Do you want to improve your photography skills? What is your favorite family photo? Do you like taking selfies? Now, let's discuss emails. Do you think sending emails will be more or less popular in the future? Is sending emails popular in China? Let's talk about dreams. Do you want to make your dreams come true? Do you think dreams have special meanings? Do you share your dreams with others? Now, let's discuss mirrors. Do you use mirrors to decorate your room? Do you usually take a mirror with you? Have you ever bought mirrors? Let's talk about meeting new people. Do you meet new people more often now than in the past? Do you enjoy talking to new people? Where can you meet new people? Continuing with friendships, what do you often talk about with your new friends? Have you made any new friends recently? Did you make a lot of friends when you were a child? Let's discuss your place of work or study. Do you prefer to work alone or in a group? What part of your school do you like the most? Do you prefer to study at home or in a library? Now, let's talk about good views. What is your favorite place? Would you take photos when you see a good view? Have you seen an unforgettable and beautiful view or scenery? Let's discuss hats and caps. Do you like to wear hats? Where do you like to buy hats? What kinds of hats do you have? Now, let's talk about borrowing and lending. How do you feel when people don't return things they borrowed from you? Do you like to lend things to others? Have you ever borrowed money from others? Let's discuss fishing. Did you ever go fishing when you were a child? Do you like fishing? Is fishing popular in your country? Now, let's talk about perfume. Do you spend a lot of money on buying perfume? Do you send perfume to others as a gift? Do you like perfume? Let's discuss roads and streets. Are there any famous roads or streets in your country? Do you think the roads in your city need improvement? How do people cross the road in the city where you live? Now, let's talk about coins. Did you use coins as a child? Do you use coins in your daily life? Have you ever collected coins? Let's discuss teachers. Do you want to be a teacher in the future? Do you have a teacher from your past that you still remember? In what way has your favorite teacher helped you? Finally, let's talk about bikes. Did you ride a bike when you were little? Are bikes popular in China? Do you often ride a bike now? Let's talk about a positive change you've recently made in your daily routine. What was the change? How did you implement it? And why do you think it's positive? Also, share your feelings about this change. Now, let's dive into some questions about positive changes. Who should get more promotion opportunities in the workplace? And who do you think would make changes more often, young people or older people? Think of an energetic person you know. Who are they? How did you meet them? And what makes them so energetic? How has their energy impacted you personally? Next, consider the future of work and physical labor. Do you think machines could replace human workers, and should physical workers receive higher salaries? What are the differences between physical and mental work? Recall a place in a village that you visited. Where is it? When did you visit? And what did you do there? Share your impressions of this place. Let's explore village life further. Do you think people will live in villages in the future? And what do they do when they visit a village? Why do people want to go to the countryside? Describe a job that is useful to society. What is it? How do you know about it? And who does this job? Explain why you think this job is important. Now, let's discuss jobs that are useful to society. Should schools provide career advice? And who should receive a higher salary, young or older people? What kind of jobs deserve a high salary? Think of a place you've been to and would recommend others to live. Where is it? What is it like? And when did you visit? Who did you go with? And why would you recommend this place? Let's consider why people move to different cities. What factors make a city livable? And what are the benefits of living close to one's workplace? Why do people move from one place to another? Describe a countryside you have been to. Where is it? When did you visit? And who did you go with? Share your impressions of this countryside. Now, let's discuss the differences between city and countryside living. What are the pros and cons of living in the countryside? And what kind of people would like to stay there? Do people in your country like to go hiking? Describe an invention that is useful in your daily life. What is it? What can it do? And how popular is it? Is it easy to use? And why do you find it useful? Let's talk about inventions. Who should support inventors? And do all inventions bring benefits to our world? What other inventions could make the world better? And what qualities do inventors need? Recall a time when someone asked for your opinion. Who asked? Why did they ask? And what opinion did you give? How did you feel about being asked for your opinion? Now, let's discuss giving opinions. What should a company do when receiving feedback, and should teachers give advice to children? How do people express their opinions on the internet? Think of a difficult decision you made that had a good result. What was the decision, when did you make it, and why was it difficult? Explain the outcome and how you felt about it. Let's explore decision-making. Do advertisements influence decisions, and why do young people seek advice when making decisions? Can some people make decisions without asking for advice? Describe a time you used your cell phone to do something important. What happened, when did it occur, and why was the cell phone important? Share your feelings about the experience. Finally, let's discuss cell phone usage. Do you think it's too late to call others at night, and what can be done to stop phone addiction? How important is using a cell phone to make phone calls or read messages?